Hey everyone, it's Mommy Zani here, and oh boy, do I have something spicy for you today. We're diving into the latest leaks for Wuthering Waves, and this time it's all about Cartethyia, her full kit, signature weapon, and resonance chains. As always, this is pre-release content and based on translations, so you know the drill. Some stuff might change, get tweaked, or just be slightly off. So take it all with a pinch of salt, alright? Let's get right into it. Cartethyia is a 5-star Aero element sword user, set to debut in version 2.4. She's got that duality thing going, Cartethyia and Fleurdelys, 2 forms, 2 playstyles, one absolute menace on the battlefield. She's refined, she's elegant, and she will absolutely destroy. Starting off with her basic attacks in Cartethyia form. She performs up to 4 consecutive slashes, all dealing Aero damage, and, here's the kicker, it's all treated as Aero erosion damage. Her 4th hit? It summons a Divine Right Sword Phantom and applies 2 stacks of Aero erosion. Right out the gate, she's setting up her whole kit. Her heavy attack consumes stamina to launch a forward slash, also applying 2 Aero erosion stacks and summoning a heterodox sword phantom. Still counts as a normal attack, which is huge for synergy. Mid-air attack? She dives to the ground with Aero erosion damage, but here's where things get juicy. This move retrieves all active phantoms and enhances the attack based on the types collected. Human phantoms give you human authority's heart, divine gives you divine authority's will, and heterodox grants heterodox authority's power. So yeah, it's not just flashy, it's layered. Her dodge counter keeps the pressure going. After a successful dodge, follow up with a basic attack to deal more Aero erosion damage. Again, consistent application of stacks across everything. Then there's her resonance skill. This sword bears the name of humanity. It lifts enemies and slams them down, dealing Aero erosion damage and applying 2 stacks. It also summons a human sword phantom. So each skill not only deals damage but also builds her whole phantom and stack setup. It's like a dance, and she's leading. Now let's talk Resonance Liberation, the Knight's heartfelt prayer. Cartethyia transforms into Fleurdelys, sacrificing 50% of her current HP to enter manifestation mode for 12 seconds. In this state, she gets a 60% Aero damage bonus and unlocks a completely new combat mode, 5-hit ground combos, 3-hit aerial attacks, and every hit generates resolve. Once she hits max resolve at 120, she can unleash her second Resonance Liberation, Raging Windblade against the Tide. She summons what is basically Excalibur, heals 70% of her max HP, and deals a massive Aero burst that scales with Aero erosion stacks, up to 100% bonus. It's cinematic, it's brutal, and it's going to melt bosses. Her Forte circuit kicks in here, letting her swap between Cartethyia and Fleurdelys freely while in that state. She also starts building special energy while attacking in Fleurdelys form, and once that's full, she can unleash a finisher Resonance Liberation for even more destruction. Her intro and outro skills are utility-packed. In Cartethyia form, the intro deals Aero damage, applies erosion stacks, and summons a phantom. In Fleurdelys form, it's a forward thrust that generates resolve. Her outro buffs your active character. Anyone hitting a debuffed enemy deals 17.5% more damage. That's huge team value. Stat bonuses, HP, and crit rate. Simple, but effective. She scales with HP, which ties beautifully into her weapon and survival mechanics. Her inherent skills also bring utility. Heartwoven Prayer increases all teammates' healing bonus by 20% after she uses an outro skill. If Rover's in the squad, they get increased interruption resistance too. Then there's Mark of the Winds. For every Aero erosion stack on an enemy, both Cartethyia and Fleurdelys deal plus 10% damage, up to plus 60%. It's free scaling, and it rewards consistent stack management. Let's zoom out and connect it all. Cartethyia form applies stacks non-stop. Each attack represents a sword, basic, heavy, skill, and her aerial attack triggers them all, granting a buff. Use her ultimate, absorb the swords, become Fleurdelys. In Fleurdelys form, you rack up resolve and eventually drop Excalibur to erase enemies. Then it's back to Cartethyia to do it all again. Now let's talk her signature weapon, and it's a standout. Base attack of 413, with a massive 77% HP substat. The weapon increases HP by 12%, and after an intro skill or basic attack, it ignores 8% of the enemy's defense. But wait, if the enemy has more than one Aero erosion stack, she deals 20% more damage. This thing was made for her. Now onto the resonance chains. These sequence nodes take her from strong to absolutely busted. Sequence Node 1 lets her spread Aero erosion stacks across enemies when hitting enhanced attack windows. Kill an enemy with stacks? She retains those stacks and applies them to the next enemy on hit. On top of that, every time she gains 30 resolve, she gets 20% crit damage for 15 seconds. That's just free value. Sequence Node 2 raises the max Aero erosion stack limit by 3 and lets her next attack apply 3 stacks instantly. Even better, it triggers an Aero erosion damage tick without consuming stacks. Plus, her normal and mid-air attack multipliers shoot up by 80% and 300% respectively. She's slicing through dimensions at this point. Sequence Node 3 adds more stack application. Several of her hits now apply 2 stacks, and her ultimate's damage multiplier is doubled. It's insane burst potential. Sequence Node 4 brings survivability. If she's about to take lethal damage, she ignores it, heals 10% of her HP, and gains 80% damage reduction for 10 seconds. That's a second chance built into her kit. Oh, and her HP cost for her ultimate drops to 25%. Less risk, more uptime. Sequence Node 5 makes her even better in team setups. If anyone on the squad applies debuffs like Void Decay, Frostbite, Aero Erosion, you name it, the entire team gets a 20% all-type damage bonus for 20 seconds. She turns every bit of elemental synergy into team-wide DPS boosts. And finally, Sequence Node 6 is wild. After using her ultimate, she maxes out Aero erosion stacks on every one hit. Then, for the next 30 seconds, if any teammate applies Aero erosion to a max target, it triggers instant damage. Oh, and those targets take 40% more damage. She basically marks enemies for deletion. So yeah, Cartethyia is looking like a mechanical masterpiece. She's versatile, she's explosive, and she brings massive value both solo and in Aero erosion comps. If you love high-skill ceiling characters who reward smart timing, rotation planning, and stack control, she's the one. If you found this breakdown helpful or you're just living for these juicy Wuthering Waves leaks, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. And hey, are you pulling for Cartethyia or saving for someone else? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your plans. Thanks for hanging out with me. This one was a ride. Until next time, stay sharp, stay hyped, and I'll see you in the next one.